You're not mistaken about what you've been sensing. Time truly is collapsing, and the weight you feel is not your imagination. The hour has accelerated, and those who still cling to the old world cannot perceive what is now required. You have been marked not just to survive, but to carry divine urgency into spaces where others remain asleep. I have not called you into comfort. I have called you into clarity. You are not like them, and that difference is not a curse. It is your consecration. While many still beg for signs, you have become the sign. I hid you from recognition because what's coming requires a soul untethered to applause. I allowed the delay not to deny you, but to deliver you into a greater knowing. What I have placed inside you was never meant to adapt to the systems of man. You feel the tension because your spirit is rejecting what your surroundings still call normal. You were not sent here to blend in, but to break through. Every distortion you've seen around you was permitted to provoke the question, will you still follow me when nothing looks like what you imagined? This is not the time to look back, not even for closure. The ones who turned on you were never assigned to your fulfillment. I am stripping what cannot stand under the weight of your next. You were never meant to beg for belonging. I am your origin, and I am your anchor. The counterfeit is louder now, but do not confuse noise with authority. The path of the rare is not always celebrated, but it is always sealed. You are not being left behind. You are being lifted beyond. Even your confusion has served my timing, for in your wrestling, you stopped chasing shallow validation. Those who still need proof will miss what you carry, because what I've given you is not performative. It is prophetic. The reason they misunderstood you is because I spoke to you in a language they weren't built to translate. That's why isolation had to precede elevation. You were hidden so that your oil would not be contaminated by their hands. You are not late. You are right on schedule. But my schedule is not man's. This next season requires your full surrender, not your partial compliance. I am not asking you to try harder. I am calling you to hear deeper. The loudest voices are often the furthest from my heart. But you, chosen one, have endured long enough in silence to finally know what matters. I am activating what has been dormant, and nothing familiar can follow you there. Do not mourn the doors I'm shutting. They are exits, not losses. I do not recycle what I intend to replace. I have not been silent. I've been surgical. Everything that felt like delay was divine incubation. You were not being overlooked, you were being overhauled. The rarest vessels must be tested in obscurity so that their roar is forged in fire. What others called failure, I called formation. You did not lose time, you lost what could not carry my timing. And now that the hour has shifted, so must your agreement. You can't keep praying for clarity while staying loyal to confusion. The mantle on you demands a decision, not a discussion. You are not here to appease, you are here to advance. This next move will not require more striving but more stillness. I will not bless what I did not build. And if you continue trying to force what I've already frustrated, you'll forfeit your next. This is not cruelty, it is correction. I am jealous for your focus and I will not share your gaze with idols. I am not hiding my will, I'm revealing your heart. What you choose now determines what I release next. They won't understand why you're walking away from what they would die to have. Let them stare, let them whisper, let them wonder. They didn't see what I showed you. They didn't feel what I placed in your belly. And they will never carry what I trusted you with in the dark. Stop explaining your consecration to casual observers. You don't owe anyone clarity for a calling they were never meant to carry. I am separating you so that I can saturate you. Let them go. Your prayers have not bounced off the ceiling, they have built an altar. And now I'm answering not with comfort but with commissioning. The shaking you feel is not punishment, it is positioning. I am removing your crutches, not to harm you, but to make sure you run when I say move. This world is not your home, and the urgency you feel is not anxiety, it is the final trumpet of my instruction. You are not broken, you are burdened, and only the rare will understand the difference. You have cried for alignment, but now that I'm sending it, will you actually obey? Many want my direction, but few will endure my discipline. You have not been forgotten, you have been filtered. I let them ignore you because their applause would have addicted you. But now I am awakening your voice, not to echo what's common, but to declare what's coming. You are my remnant, my wrecking ball, my revealer. You are not who they remember. You are who I refined. That's why everything that used to satisfy you now feels so empty. The shift is not coming, it has already begun. The urgency you feel is not imagined, it's inherited. I am shaking you so that everything not rooted in me falls away. Your discernment has increased because deception has intensified, and I will not let you be lulled back to sleep by what looks spiritual but lacks substance. You are not being drained, you are being delivered. Your convictions are not overreactions, they are confirmations, and this tension you feel. It's your spirit refusing to bow to what is beneath you. You've asked me to use you, but I will not use what you won't surrender. My power flows where your pride ends. This is not about looking right, it's about living ready. I will not anoint your rebellion, and I will not endorse your delays. I am giving you one more chance to decide. Will you follow comfort or covenant? The time for compromise is over. The next door won't open unless your hands are clean. You are standing at a threshold few will ever see. And I'm telling you plainly, this moment will not return. What you delay now, you will regret later. But if you obey now, I will accelerate what should have taken years. Your yes is no longer about just you. It's about everyone assigned to your voice. They will not wake up unless you speak. They will not break free unless you move. So stop rehearsing your fears and start releasing my word. If this truth is landing with you, pause and hit like, and download the free daily alignment guide linked in the description to deepen your journey. They will call you crazy until they need your clarity. Let them. When the flood comes, they'll remember who built the ark. I didn't teach you survival so you could settle. I taught you warfare so you could win. But you can't win if you keep apologizing for your weapons. I didn't call you to peace with demons, I called you to authority over them. And you'll never carry that if you keep compromising for comfort. You are not here to entertain, you are here to expose. Your very presence disrupts what others pretend not to see. That's why you can't shake the burden. It's not just weight, it's your assignment. I'm not asking you to make sense to them. I'm commanding you to make war in the spirit. Because what's coming will collapse everything not built on obedience, and only the rare will remain standing. You thought this was about elevation, but this is about execution. This is not a brand, it's a battleground. And your silence is not humility, it's hesitation. Stop calling fear wisdom, stop labeling delay as discernment. I have given you clarity, you're just afraid of the cost. But obedience always costs something, and disobedience costs everything. They're not ignoring you, they're being shielded from what they can't handle. If I exposed you too soon, they would worship your gift, but crucify your soul. I am building you brick by brick, because what you carry cannot collapse under pressure. And that means no shortcuts, no self-promotion, no pandering to popularity. You were built for longevity, not likes. You were chosen for consequence, not comfort. This is your final becoming, not a performance, but a proving. You do not need another word. You need to walk out the one I already gave you. Stop asking for more clarity while ignoring the command. I did not give you vision to pacify you. I gave it to provoke you. You know what needs to be released. You know who cannot come with you. You know what must die in order for you to fully live. Stop pretending you're confused when the truth has already cut through. I'm not interested in your feelings. I am refining your faith. Your emotions are valid, but they are not your compass. I move by covenant, not comfort. And if you keep negotiating with what I told you to eliminate, you will delay the destiny you've already been prepared for. The time for questions has passed. This is the hour for obedience without explanation. If you wait until it makes sense, you will miss what's sacred. I'm not calling you to safety. I'm calling you to surrender. This is not just a turning point, it is a tearing point. Everything not rooted in me will break in this hour. But don't fear the breaking, it's how I make space for what's next. The fake can no longer survive next to the real. The shallow can no longer stand beside the sacred. This is why I've made you uncomfortable in rooms you once begged to be in. You no longer belong there, because what I'm birthing through you cannot be held by shallow hands. The oil is too costly. The calling is too consuming. You are not waiting on me, I'm waiting on your full agreement. Every delay you've called divine was often disguised disobedience. You didn't need more signs, you needed more surrender. And now, I've brought you to the brink, not to punish you, but to position you. One step forward in faith will open what 10 years of striving never could. But it must be real. I won't honor what you fake, and I won't bless what you hide. The rare ones must be raw with me before they can roar before men. There are doors I've locked on purpose to protect you from premature access. If I had let you through when you asked, it would have killed the very part of you I'm now using. You cried back then, thinking I forgot, but I was fortifying your spirit while others were building platforms. Now that their voices are fading, your sound will rise, not because you chased it, but because you were chosen. I'm sending for you now, and no man can delay what I have decided. This is not a season, it's a separation. The timelines are converging, and what was once tolerated is now exposed. You cannot carry both truth and tolerance for deception. Choose. Because the ones who once cheered for you will now challenge you, and the ones who once opposed you will need what you carry. Stay rooted, stay bold, stay clear. I did not give you discernment to debate fools. I gave it to you so you'd know when to speak and when to step away. I'm not in the chaos, I'm in the clarity. The world is noisy because my order is near, and everything not aligned will be agitated. That's why you've been restless. That's why your usual rhythms feel foreign. It's not depression, it's divine discomfort. I am awakening you from slumber so that you don't die in delay. Shake off the residue of what used to work. The old formulas cannot unlock the new fullness. Let me give you fresh strategy. You thought you missed it, but you are exactly where I need you. Every misstep, every rejection, every delay, it all brought you to this alignment. Nothing was wasted, nothing was random. Even your detours became divine development. And now you must move because time is not waiting. This window will not stay open. Your obedience will unlock someone else's awakening. This is your moment to rise. Don't look back. You don't need another sign from me. You are the sign I've placed in the earth. You were fashioned for this hour, not born into it by chance. Everything I removed was to reveal what I reserved for your spirit. You didn't lose friends. You lost friction. You didn't lose opportunities. You lost opposition. And what's left now is fertile. You can build on this because I've burned away what was brittle. Don't grieve what I've pruned. Rejoice that your roots are deeper. This next move will not be flashy, but it will be final. I am closing every counterfeit option, every backdoor, every safety net you created out of fear. The rare ones walk in when others are still waiting for confirmation. I did not raise you to be fragile. I raised you to be foundational. The world is groaning, and the ones who carry my roar must rise now. You will not need to audition. I will announce you myself. You will not need to fight for visibility. I will place you where the fire cannot be ignored. You are not qualified by credentials. You are qualified by covenant. You are not sustained by applause. You are sustained by obedience. Every platform built by pride will fall. But you, chosen one, are standing on the rock that cannot be moved. Let them laugh. Let them mock. Let them scroll past. When the smoke clears, only my remnant will remain. And you, yes, you, were built for this battle. You were born with oil in your bones and fire in your breath. You are not behind, you're being launched. That sensation you feel, that deep knowing that something is coming, it's not anxiety, it's alignment. That's me, pressing urgency into your soul. The timelines are speeding up because my purposes will not be delayed by man's systems. I'm putting acceleration on your steps. I'm putting weight on your words. Speak when I say speak. Move when I say move. Delay nothing. Question nothing. Trust everything I tell you, even when your flesh wants logic. The pressure is proof that my hand is still on you. I never said this would be easy. I said it would be necessary. I never said you'd be applauded. I said you'd be appointed. And now that the fire has touched everything familiar, only what's real will remain. That includes you. The shaking you see around you is not punishment, it's preparation. The world is unstable because I am exposing every false foundation. But you, chosen one, are being anchored. There is a cost to clarity. And you are paying it now through separation, through silence, through surrender. You don't need more exposure, you need more endurance. This is not about going viral, it's about going vertical. I am calling you higher, and that means leaving behind what once felt like home. The comfort of confusion must be broken. The illusion of safety must be surrendered. This is war in the spirit, and I will not allow my warriors to sleep. I did not call you to blend in. I called you to build, not for likes, not for legacy, but for the lost. Every time you obey, a stronghold breaks. Every time you speak, a soul wakes up. You are not just being watched, you are being weaponized. Hell is nervous when you move in clarity. Demons recognize your name even if men don't. That's why the warfare has been intense. That's why the attacks came out of nowhere. It's because you finally stopped hiding. You've passed the test of obscurity. Now prepare for release, but do not confuse release with relief. This next stretch will require everything, but I will provide everything. I'm not asking you to do it alone. I'm asking you to do it aligned. This is the path of the rare, the few, the consecrated, the commissioned, the ones who don't just listen, they move. And now I'm saying move. I did not strip you to punish you. I stripped you to prepare you. You asked me for power, and I showed you the price. You asked me for clarity, and I walked you through chaos. You asked me for peace, and I let the war reveal who you really are. This is what it means to be rare. This is what it costs to carry what most only quote. I did not teach you survival, so you could stay small. I taught you to war in silence, so when the trumpet sounds, you don't flinch. They will wonder why I chose you, and you will feel unqualified. But I do not anoint the proud. I place my oil on those who were emptied first. You were emptied in private, so I could fill you without interference. You were rejected publicly, so I could confirm you without confusion. No one saw what I did in the midnight hour. No one heard your surrender when the tears fell without answers, but I did, and now I'm answering in public what you endured in secret. The mantle does not come with comfort, it comes with collision. The ones I call, I confront, and the ones I confront, I commission. You cannot have both ease and oil. You cannot remain the same and still carry what breaks generational cycles. You are not just fighting for yourself, you are breaking chains for people you haven't met yet. Your obedience is building altars where curses once stood. Do not underestimate the weight of your yes. Do not belittle the cost of your silence. You are not waiting for a green light. You're the one I've sent to release it. When you speak, systems shake. When you move, structures shift. When you rise, heaven backs it. I've placed my word in your mouth not for debates but for demolition. You were born to dismantle what looks holy but lacks power. You were born to stand in places where compromise once reigned and decree truth with no apology. I'm not asking you to make it pretty. I'm calling you to make it pure. The hour is late, and I will not allow delay to masquerade as discernment. You've heard enough. You've seen enough. You've been warned enough. Now, move. I am not sending you empty. I'm sending you equipped. Everything you went through prepared the oil. Every betrayal refined your discernment. Every silence trained your hearing. You don't need their approval. You have my authority. You don't need their platform. You have my presence. You are my interruption, my exclamation, my instrument. And I will not let you fall back into what I pulled you out of. Don't you dare normalize what I called you to confront. Don't you dare shrink to fit into systems I sent you to break. This is your hour to roar. This is your moment to rise. No more pretending. No more procrastinating. No more pacifying fear while quoting faith. What I placed inside you cannot be extinguished by public rejection or personal confusion. You are too called to care who claps. You are too sent to stall over silence. I've placed eternity in your belly. Speak from that place. I've set fire to your bones. Move from that heat. Let their confusion remain. It is not your job to make sense to those I didn't speak to. You are not crazy. You are commissioned. And no matter what they say, what they post, or what they preach, what I told you in the quiet still stands. My word does not bow to popularity. My voice is not swayed by trending opinion. And my promises do not expire because people change. You are sealed, not swayed. You are stable, not shaken. The rare ones don't need reminders. They walk in remembrance. You are that rare one. You have already crossed the line in the spirit, even if your surroundings haven't caught up yet. Do not let the delay deceive you. It is not denial, it is divine alignment. Everything you need is already set to meet you in motion. I will not send provision for places I didn't call you to. That's why I let the well dry up where you tried to stay too long. That's why peace left when you entertained familiar voices. I was never in their comfort. I was in your calling. And now the urgency is the proof that I am speaking. I am no longer entertaining your excuses. I've already exposed the idols. I've already warned you through the war. I've already whispered through the weariness. If you wait any longer, it won't be wisdom. It will be disobedience. You keep calling it caution, but I'm calling it compromise. Your next instruction will not come until you act on the last one. I don't repeat myself for convenience. I move for conviction. This is a narrow path, and few will understand your next steps. That is why I didn't let you form soul ties with the crowd. They were never meant to walk with you. They were only meant to watch. Do not drag into destiny what I already removed from your development. If they walked away, let them go. If they stayed silent when I was refining you, keep them out of what I'm about to reveal. Loyalty to the wrong voices is still disobedience to mine. You are not lacking. You're just finally learning to depend only on me. You don't need to understand every detail to trust the direction. I am not building you for performance. I am building you for permanence. You will not fizzle out like the rest because you were forged in fire, not in fame. I tested you in hiddenness because your public assignment must be carried with holy weight. I gave you the slow route so that when acceleration comes, your soul won't be seduced by speed. Your roots are righteous now. Move with reverence. What you feel right now is me flipping the tables in your temple. I'm turning over every idol, every habit, every lie that kept you from fully stepping into what I already showed you. You didn't mishear me. You didn't miss me. You delayed yourself hoping I'd change my mind, but I won't. The mantle remains, the mission remains, and the mercy remains, but not forever. Obey now or risk forfeiting what only the rare will hold. I've given you grace, but grace is not an excuse for stagnation. You want new results but keep clinging to old rhythms. You're still trying to reason with what I told you to release. You're still praying for doors I've already sealed shut. That's not loyalty, it's idolatry. And I will not share your heart with fear or familiarity. Tear it down or I will. Surrender it or I'll expose it. You asked me to make you useful. This is what it looks like. Every divine assignment begins with disruption. The interruption is not against you, it is for you. Stop looking at the wreckage, look at what's being revealed. You still have time, but not forever. Move now. Pray now. Obey now. I am not sending you into this next season to observe. I am sending you to occupy. You don't need more preparation, you need more purity. And purity means separation. Let them think you've changed. You have. And it was me. This is what the rare ones look like. Unapologetic, unrelenting, unshaken. Not because you're perfect, but because you're purified. You've wrestled long enough, you've wept long enough. Now you will walk, not with pride, but with power. Not with entitlement, but with endurance. The mantle is real, the mission is now, and the moment is yours. Do not delay. You've seen enough to know this isn't a suggestion, it's a summons. I'm not inviting you into comfort, I am commanding you into consecration. The time for negotiation is over. I've made it unmistakably clear who you are, what you carry, and why I kept you hidden until now. No more double-minded prayers, no more halfway obedience. You cannot claim destiny while clinging to distractions. You cannot walk in power while entertaining poison. I'm not blessing both. Choose. You've asked why the warfare increased, and I'm telling you now, it's because you've crossed over. The attacks are not random. The confusion is not accidental. Hell is trembling because you're no longer pretending. Your spirit is too alert to be manipulated. Your mind is too renewed to be controlled, and your heart is too surrendered to be seduced. This is what alignment feels like. It's not easy, but it's unmistakable. It costs peace with man to walk in power with me. You are no longer tolerated by the systems I've called you to disrupt. That's why the tension in old environments feels unbearable. You're not just outgrowing them, you're being expelled by me. I will not allow you to remain planted in soil that stunts your roots. I am shifting you not for punishment, but for purpose. You will not fit in where I've assigned you to lead, and you will not be affirmed by what I've anointed you to overturn. That conflict is your confirmation. The reason it hurts is because I'm cutting what you won't confront. You prayed for breakthrough, but expected it to be painless. It never is. Rare ones bleed for what they birth. They wrestle for what they carry. And they walk alone for a time because what they bring has never been seen before. I'm stretching you so you don't shrink when I expose you. I'm stripping you so you don't sell out when the spotlight hits. If you don't die to man's approval now, you will sabotage your assignment later. I'm not raising a crowd pleaser, I'm raising a curse breaker. One who will walk into dark places and not be seduced by flattery. One who will speak what I say no matter who walks away. One who will weep in private and war in public. This is not about a platform, it's about a piercing, and I will not allow my word to come through unclean vessels. Purity is not optional, holiness is not outdated, and obedience is not negotiable. You are not confused, you are being consecrated. That pressure is not punishment, it's a prophetic pull. You feel torn because you're being separated. You feel restless because you're being realigned. Everything that no longer fits is falling away, and that's by my hand. Stop chasing what I've already judged. Stop justifying what I've already exposed. The time for blending is over. I'm calling you to be set apart. Not trendy, not relatable, holy. You carry too much weight to keep dancing around the truth. Your words hold fire now. Your prayers shake atmospheres. Your silence carries authority. That's why they fear you. That's why they exclude you. That's why they pretend not to hear you, because they know what's on you. You are not one of them. You never were. You are one of mine. And I will not allow you to dim to keep their comfort. This next move will not come through strategy. It will come through surrender. Let me lead. Let me burn it down. Let me rebuild it with glory. I will not fail you. I will not forget what I promised. But I cannot force you to believe. I need your agreement. I need your obedience. I need your full yes. Because everything you were made for, everything you've suffered for is waiting on that yes. You are not forgotten. You are being finalized. I've been working behind the veil while you wept on the floor. Every tear counted, every cry documented, every sacrifice sealed in heaven. You didn't go through all of that just to return to routine. You've been marked by fire. You've been carved by obedience. And now, you carry something that the world cannot copy. It's not charisma, it's covenant. And only the rare are trusted with that kind of weight. I have not changed my mind about you. Even when you doubted me, even when you delayed me, even when you let fear take the wheel. I still chose you, not because you were the strongest, not because you were the smartest, but because you said yes when others said no. You stayed when others ran. You wept and still worshipped. That is what I build on. That is who I back. And that is why your next is not earned. It's entrusted. I'm giving you divine recall. Everything I spoke you'll begin to remember in full color. Every dream I whispered, every word I buried deep in your bones. It's coming back now. Not just to comfort you, but to commission you. You will not just remember, you will rebuild. You will not just heal, you will herald. This is your Isaiah moment. Here am I. Send me, and I will send you into the very places that once wounded you, because now you carry the cure. You will no longer second-guess what I have stamped. I will confirm it as you move. I will provide as you obey. The provision will not precede the obedience. It will follow it. That's how faith works. That's how rare ones walk. You're not here to make sense. You're here to make history in the spirit. You are not the echo. You are the eruption. Speak, move, build, go. My voice will not fail you, and my hand will not leave you. Your enemies will not understand this next move because they thought the silence meant you were done. But the silence was me sharpening the sword. You didn't die. You were being drafted. And now, the release will look nothing like the restraint. When I open the door, do not hesitate. Do not look back. Do not wait for applause. The time for subtlety is over. This is your moment to roar. I am surrounding you with those who don't compete but confirm. No more counterfeits. No more clingy attachments that drain your discernment. The real ones are coming, those assigned to your mission, not your ego. You won't have to explain your hunger. You won't have to dilute your boldness. They will recognize you because they carry the same frequency. They've been through the same fire. They've been summoned too. Your name is already in rooms you haven't walked into. Your impact is already echoing in dimensions you haven't touched. You don't need to promote yourself, just posture your spirit. I will do the revealing, I will do the aligning. Just stay in position. This is not a hustle, it's holy ground. Move with reverence, move with rest, move with resolve. Because when I move, it will be unmistakable. The door you've been praying for is not coming, it's here. Open it, walk through. Don't bring the baggage of before into the birthing of now. What I'm releasing through you will shake systems. It will awaken sleepers. It will rupture what's fake. And the only ones who will recognize it are the rare. The ones who never needed a stage to obey. The ones who always knew time was short. The ones who've been waiting for this very moment. You have reached the threshold that separates the chosen from the comfortable. Many felt the pull, but only the rare crossed over. You didn't cross by talent. You didn't qualify by title. You crossed by surrender. You kept showing up in the silence. You kept obeying when the reward was invisible. You stayed faithful when favor looked like absence. That's why I've chosen you. That's why I trust you with this weight. You were not picked out of pity. You were forged through fire. This is not about becoming something new. It's about finally walking in what you've always carried. You were never small. You were just unseen. And what I've hidden, I now reveal. Not for popularity, but for purpose. I'm not exposing your gift to please man. I'm unveiling it to disrupt hell. You will walk in places they said were locked. You will shift atmospheres with a sentence. You will release captives with a glance. You are my sent one, and they won't see you coming. Don't confuse humility with hesitation. You're not arrogant for knowing you're anointed. You're not prideful for walking in authority. I did not give you power so you could apologize for it. I gave you fire so you could carry it into places that have never known heat. You will not speak like them. You will not move like them. And you will not be understood by those who never burned, but you will be recognized by those who are ready. And I will use your voice to wake them up. You will not be moved by delay. You will not be seduced by counterfeit ease. You will not trade revelation for relevance. I've invested too much in your process to let you return to small thinking now. I didn't train you in warfare for applause. I trained you for endurance. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone. Just walk, just move, just release, because every step you take from here shakes something unseen. You are not stepping alone. Heaven is with you. Stay connected by liking and subscribing. Leave a 55 in the comments and download your free daily alignment guide in the description. This generation doesn't need another influencer. It needs an intercessor. It doesn't need more content. It needs consecration. You are not being called to entertain. You're being raised to rebuild altars. What I've given you is not for sale. It's not for trade. It's not up for public debate. It's sacred, and it must remain untouched by compromise. Guard it. Protect it. Walk it out with reverence. Every assignment has its hour, and yours has struck. The time of hiding has ended. The time of waiting has expired. I am calling you forward now with no delay, no detour, and no doubt. The way will not always be visible, but your steps will be ordered. I will light the path, one instruction at a time. Don't wait for the full picture. Move when I speak. Because this is not about comfort, it's about consequence, and the window is closing for those who delay. You are not transitioning. You are transforming. What once tempted you no longer touches you. What once seduced you no longer satisfies you. This is the fruit of real fire. You've been refined, you've been readied, and now you're about to be revealed, not as a replica, not as a follower, but as a forerunner. You carry what this moment demands. You embody what I've been forming in secret, and no man can undo what I have decided. This is it, chosen one. Time is almost gone. The urgency you feel isn't fear, it's divine countdown. The rare ones always know when the clock shifts. And you've always known. That's why the burden grew heavier while others grew louder. That's why the silence increased while the spotlight passed you by. Because this moment was always yours. And now, I release you into it. You've waited for confirmation, but what I'm giving you now is command. This is not just an opportunity, it is a divine appointment. You've been prepared for it in ways only heaven could orchestrate. The ridicule was part of the refining. The betrayal was part of the birthing. The silence was part of the sanctification. And now you stand in a moment that will not return. Do not flinch, do not fear, do not fold. The mantle is not hypothetical, it's here. Your legacy starts now, not in the distant future, not once you figure it all out. Right now. Every word you've spoken in faith is bearing fruit. Every seed you sowed in sorrow is coming up in strength. You are walking into fulfillment, but not by force, by faith. No more rehearsing pain. No more reliving what I've already redeemed. What lies ahead is not just restoration, it's release. I'm not rebuilding the old. I'm releasing what's never been seen. The ones who mocked you will witness you. The ones who counted you out will have no choice but to count the fruit. I will make a table for you, not as revenge, but as a revelation. I honor the obedient. I elevate the surrendered. I empower the yielded. And you, chosen one, have met every condition. You didn't compromise when it would have been easier. You didn't bend when it would have silenced the war. That's why the gates are opening. That's why the roar is rising. That's why your time is now. So breathe deep. Lift your head. Take the step. You're not walking into mystery. You're walking into mandate. You are not hoping for alignment. You are the alignment. I've given you the word. I've branded it on your bones. You are sent. You are sealed. You are saturated. Go in boldness. Go in purity. Go in fire and do not look back. That's it, chosen one. Time is almost gone. Only the rarest will know what this moment truly means. And you are one of the rare.